Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So many of you have asked, how do you use the free roam camera thing, where you can essentially view an entire fight from a third party perspective, like so, the second boss in Vault of Stars. And you can continue on from there to view the entire maze like we did before. I made a video where I went over it. It can be a bit confusing without a map, especially going in the first few times. And overall, I'd like to show you guys how you can simply set this up for yourself. All you will need is to have the game downloaded, and then of course it will depend on what PC you have or laptop, whatever hardware you're running it on which commands it can then handle from here on out. But this is simply just the base game with the base options. I haven't made any alterations. You can see we're just fighting there and I can explore the map, but the maze is kind of covered in this fog and we can only see so far. So let's go over how you can exactly set this up. Now, first of all, a disclaimer, I have no idea if this works on console. It probably doesn't. And if your computer in any way struggles to play Neverwinter on, let's say, max settings, I probably advise against using this in fear of your computer crashing. And otherwise, use this completely at your own risk. I take no responsibility for any errors or any malfunctions that these commands may cause you or your game or your computer. So if you're on PC, you can probably follow these steps that I'm going to go through. First of all, you're going to have to go to your chat here. I'll bring up a list here of the different commands that you're going to want to use. Here, you're going to first have to type in the record. So we're going to replace the name by something like Dragonbone Veil for short there, DBV, and just go copy and paste that in chat and hit enter. Keep in mind it's going to have to be like that, and the name can be whatever you want as long as there's no spaces between it. And then you go hit that and you should get your character kind of reset like that, along with this demo recording on the left side. And we can cast our powers and we can just jump around, and overall it won't make a difference to the recording. However, it will depend on how long your recording can go for. It will depend on how good your computer is. If you don't have a good computer and you're running this on a laptop, that's not great. I don't recommend recording for very long. So then what you do is you go back to these commands and copy and paste the demo record stop, and then type that in and it'll immediately stop your recording. And if you're on a kind of more budget computer with not such good hardware, then your game will probably crash and it will fail to like register that as a demo recording. So just be warned how long you can go for. I can go record nearly an entire boss run without too much trouble. You will see like my game freeze for a few seconds after I've pressed stop, but otherwise my computer can handle it. But I've got some very good hardware. And so now we have this demo recording. What you're going to want to do is copy and paste this. You won't actually need the .demo, but that's what the file will be, and just replace the name here to the same name of the recording. Then you go and you copy this, and then you have to open your launcher. So for me, that's here. I've logged in, and you go to options, and what you want to do is go to command line, so that will be down the bottom here, and simply paste that in there. Demo, play, and then whatever name you have as your demo file. Click save, and then you go and you click play. Now, you might have access to the different servers, so make sure you're on the server that you recorded it on. We recorded it on live, so let's go and click play on live. And this, once it loads up, instead of bringing you to character selection, it brings you to the recording, which exactly is here. We can pause that up here, we can play it on super speed, and so on, and we can even reset back to the beginning. And we can also use a bunch of commands. Here we can put this on transparent, we can play this again, here I am here, and we can also go and press just F2. If you press F2, you will disconnect from your character and you can move. You can see my camera is locked, I can't do anything. Once you're pressed F2, you can move around with WASD and space to go up. And to go down, you're going to have to look down. And to look around, you hold your right mouse button, then your mouse disappears and you can move in the direction you're looking. And here we can explore the entire zone. You can look out here where they made the tents, where we can't access this area. Not much texture in the ground. And overall, you can see it gets even worse quality out here, because why render something when you're going to be so far away? There doesn't need to be much pixels out here. I guess they just copy and pasted the trees because they're still pretty good detail. And overall, this is going to be our entire zone, Dragonbone Vale, that we can view from a distance. However, you will see that it is a little bit foggy, right? Our view distance isn't too great. So we're going to have some additional commands we ideally want to put in. Now, to put these additional commands, you're going to have to press that weird key to open your console, which is going to be this key just here. You're going to have to hit that on your keyboard. Now we'll enter the console. Now you can simply go to options, which will give you the options that you'd normally get in the game, this one right here, and you can adjust your graphics, your display, and so on. I believe we have everything on maximum. You can close that there again. And otherwise, if we want to, let's say, get rid of the fog, we have to type in no fog and put a 1 after that, and that removes all of the fog. And go back out of our console, we can hit this little X or just press that key again, and that removes the entire fog from our zone. It does look still a little bit blurry from a distance, so we might need another command. Let's go and set our render distance higher. So let's put that to our maximum, visscale 100. You can put that much lower down, all the way to, I believe, 0, and that'll just give us further render distance. On top of that, we can make our render scale better. This will mean we will render in objects from further away, and on top of that, we can, let's say, make it a little bit lighter by putting like noExposure 1, and then we can get out of this console and we can move around, and we might have to be a bit closer to be able to see these features a bit clearer. We have this nice pool here with the deep blue, with the waterfall. The waterfall is not moving because we aren't playing, but if we play it, you can see, there we go, you get the water feature moving there. And overall, we can just travel around the entire zone. Now, you can also do a bunch of commands with like the camera path editor to get some like really smooth shots here. And overall, we can just explore the rest of this area, see if they have anything special for us to encounter next. And it doesn't look like it. Like, we could see this section of the map just up here before on this screen recorder, and it doesn't look like a whole lot. We got our heroic encounter here, and that's about it. We do have like a bit of islands here, but I don't believe the trial is anywhere on this map at all. They have a separate map built for that. But you can just see like they have mountains off in the distance. They're pretty low quality once you're zooming around on this, but that's to be expected as the maps are built to be like standing out here, and you look off in the distance and they kind of fade out. And we've already got rid of most of the fog, so that's already not too realistic as you would see in a game like this. And overall, what you can also do, let's say you're in Vault of Stars, I went and removed, let's say, the sky because it was just making all that dark, and essentially there we have no sky anymore. It really doesn't make this place look too beautiful, but it changes the lighting effects on the zone so that you basically don't have the different varying shadows that the sun would cast and so on. Is a bit more ugly here in this area, but overall that's how you're going to be setting up this free roam camera. Fairly simple. Again, the simple steps are just here. You're going to have to record, replacing this name by whatever you want. Then you're going to have to stop the recording and then play the demo under this command here, that again you will put in your launcher once you've logged in options just down here. You'll put whatever command line. Now make sure, if you want to actually play the game normally, to delete this command line, make sure it's blank. If it's got something in there, then you probably won't be able to play your game anymore. It won't launch. We currently are logged in and we'll probably get kicked out here as the other launcher will log in at the same time. And if you're having trouble loading multiple launchers, well, you're going to have to find where you installed the game and load it up just through the launcher link, not through, let's say, Steam or through Arc Games, in order to launch multiple of those launchers. I believe you can't do it otherwise. Otherwise, you can always just have one launcher. That's fine. You just have one thing open, and that's not a big deal. It'll save your resources on your computer. And overall, that's how the demo recording works. I'll leave the commands in the video description below, and you can copy and paste those to a little document if you need to. Again, there's a lot more different tools you can use with it. You can use like camera pathing and make like cinematics. Can be really cool, especially in certain areas. And overall, hopefully this has been somewhat insightful to you guys, just how this free roam camera tool works, and everybody has access to it. So with that said, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of my channel members for helping me keep my channel going. And if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.